right, so our first question is how did you find out about Talents Tokyo?
How did I find out about Talents Tokyo? In terms of the lab, I think you guys are like, really one of the earliest around. And so many people that we know, filmmakers, that are more experienced than I am. They were, many of them went to Talents Tokyo and had a very productive experience from it. For me, of course, it was very, very productive as well. So yeah, but I would say by word of mouth then in that case, right? And then of course, a lot of the collaterals that you have provided online. So there's a very strong presence of the lab in our region. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you were doing before Talents Tokyo? Were you shooting maybe short films?
Yeah, so before that, yeah, definitely doing short films. And prior to coming, I was in the residence, the Cine Foundation. You know, that was between October to February 2020. So just before COVID. In I was writing a draft of Mongrel in Paris at the residence. I was just talking to my producer, and then basically what happens is that he said, like, you have no stage fright, like you are okay with talking in front of people, public speaking, but sometimes you get long-winded. Sometimes you drag out so much, so you need to learn, you need to know how to pitch, and then I think Talents Tokyo was something that one of the thing was that it had a public pitch at the end of the session, right? And then also, it was a chance for you to talk to people about your project. And I thought the environment of it, it's very how would say, safe, in a sense, comfortable. You're in a group with your fellow filmmakers, and most of them, their ideas, their projects are in a very early stage. And I had a good experience. Try to craft a pitch that's 5 minutes. Try to convey to people. It kind of set up the stage for when I meet other uh you know producers or sales or whatever later on. How do you get your the idea of your project or the execution of your project in a very concise manner, to deliver in a concise manner when you meet people who are hearing about the project for the first time. And a lot of the experience from Talents Tokyo, like what I just shared about the pitch, it was helpful later on, when I had to pitch at during Torino. It came into good use.
So what were you expecting when you applied to Talent, and what was the reality of attending the program?
Hmm. I mean, it was my first time doing any lab of this nature. Uh, so I didn't really know what to expect, though what I thought, I assume, the usual would be, you meet a group of people, you meet your colleagues from the region, and then you definitely would have mentors sharing about their experience. So you kind of know that this will happen, and then that at the end of it, you have to find a way to craft a pitch to talk to people. I think what I didn't expect was the kind of I would say camaraderie that you have from your fellow colleagues. I think that was more important. With mentors and experts or anything, with every lab.
Mhm.
But of course, what they can give you is it's an overview, or at least a summary of what the industry or what people expect at this point. They give you a silhouette, or at least a rough idea of what you can expect when you make the next stage, go to the next stage, make the next step. So I would say your connections with your fellow colleagues are more important for me. During, I didn't expect that I would gain so much you could say energy or encouragement from your fellow colleagues. I thought that was more important. coming here to meet fellow filmmakers. When you meet your colleagues, and you kind of feel encouraged also. So I thought that came at the right time, at the right situation where okay, people are trying. I should be trying hard too. That kind of thing. So that was what I felt Talents Tokyo did for me, the experience of it. I think the whole session hit off quite well, in general. There, people we meet for drinks, we talk. So sometimes you don't get a chance to meet a group like that. Sometimes you are like everybody's off to do their own thing individually. So I thought the vibe, the atmosphere, amongst the talents, that was the more important thing for me.
Already had a draft for Mongrel by the time you came to Talents.
Yeah.
And then you went to Torino after that to develop your project even more. So we can say that like your project has been evolving constantly, but could you elaborate a little bit about your steps or like your journey until cons?
So for development, I think we were writing from October to February 2020. And then in between there was Talents Tokyo, right? And then I think what happened after that was I finished another draft at the end of 2020, February 2020. Then came, financing the film, trying to put together, this financing. It's hard because we just came out of COVID, and for a film like ours, which is so heavy, and so putting together the funding, I think when a project has like I said, I didn't go to much labs, but the ones that I did went to, the project went through, these are highly recognizable labs. So I think this is the testament to the prestige that Talents Tokyo, being a project that was a Talents Tokyo, can confer a kind of confidence for people, like, okay, it has been passed through these doors. So I think we were pretty successful in putting together the financing, the budget for the film. When the premiere happened, and then of course people walk out unexpectedly, walk out, or people give like 1-star review, half-star review on Letterboxd. I think it really doesn't matter, because when I was walking along the streets, and a lady or a gentleman, older of course, came up to me and said, like, hey, well, thank you for the film. It really spoke to me. These were the things that were very meaningful, beyond, I would say, people leaving their reviews online or whatever. It was more meaningful in that sense. so a lot of the things that I do in the film, or not just this film, but all the films, they just come from a lot of the experiences that I have had. And I think the hardest part is that you're always reminded of these people, these stories, these experiences that you have had with them. And on this film, I think, which is well, you might see why is a Singaporean filmmaker making a story about a Thai migrant in Taiwan taking care of chronic patients, but there is a personal angle there, and it's in every shot of the film. And I think when you make a film that is so personal to yourself, it's I would say no matter what the film is like, whether you like it or not, you cannot doubt that it is, for me at least, it is sincere. It's part of me, my approach. I don't know any other way right now. So I guess that's the feeling that the film or myself will carry, I would say.
I wanted to say that, of course, we are proud of you and your work, but not just because it won the special mention, but just definitely because of the quality of it. It's such an amazing film. I'm very honored to be able, like, it's a very small part, but I'm very honored to feel like I was a part of it.
When you go out into the world, you realize that you're not alone. I think that's the main thing, and not just that people are trying their best to make a film no matter what, how difficult it is. And places like Talents, what's precious about it is that you get to meet, and then you get to know that you're not alone. Hopefully these programs going, these are critical programs that I think are helpful to young filmmakers. I think that's more important than for me personally. The award or the coverage that this project has. All right, thank you so much, Miyu. Thank you both for the help. Yeah, see you soon. Appreciate it. Bye bye.